I'm so glad we're finally doing this.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
It's like Grindr is Cupid getting us together.
It sure is.
So, tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm Chandler Canterbury.
Oh, you!
What about you?
Oh, I'm just Percy Longstockings, honey. The rest you'll find out later. So, what are you looking for?
Well, I'ma be real with you, Percy.
Oh, please do.
I'ma cheat on you.
What?
Quite frankly, I'm a narcissistic, self-centered egotist who likes manipulating other people's feelings for my own emotional benefit. I want to see you cry.
What?
No. It's okay. Some broad wrote a book about it.
Oh, okay. We're such a romantic match made in heaven.
You understand why you're being punished, right?
Well, after the splooge of New Moon, director Chris Weitz was still finishing up work on it, so David Slade was brought in to direct the third installment instead, now that the studio had the rights to all of the books. Yep, David Slade. The same director who hated the franchise and said he would never go near it in a million years. Well, he did. He then claimed that when he said that, it was all just a joke. Of course it was, David. Of course it was. There's no shame in selling out for a bit of money.
Won't get that far.
As far as success goes, this movie broke the record for the biggest midnight opening in the United States and Canada in box office history. Around $30 million. Until my boy Harry Potter broke it the next year, sucks to be you. But somehow, some way, in some dark and dank galaxy across the universe. Although reviews were mixed, many not only liked it, but considered it to be the best one. Well, let's give it a go and see. Twilight Eclipse.
It's not a chick thing.
Alright, to be fair, the music for the intro is actually pretty badass. And it immediately looks like it's on a much higher budget. I mean, just look at this production value. And this guy gives a great performance right off the bat. This is actually a pretty solid opening. Could it be? Could this be the good Twilight film? Have they learned from their mistake? No! No! Not buying it. No, something's gonna give.
That makes me really happy.
But boy, Twilight sure loves them some aerial shots above the trees, don't they? Ah, great. There they are. The lovey-dovey couple themselves.
Marry me.
No. I gotta cheat on you with the director first.
Marry me.
Change me.
Hasn't this been the message for the last 3 films now? Make me a vampire. No, I think it's a good idea. All these people don't think it's a good idea. Have you got no other ideas?
Makes me sick.
But due to the last movie, Bella's father Charlie isn't too fond of Edward because unlike her, he actually wants her to be happy.
You're not grounded anymore. If you use your newfound freedom to see some of your other friends too, like Jacob.
Oh god, no! Stay away from him as well! But how the hell can nobody figure out that these guys are vampires in any of these films? Just look at them! They're so much more pale than everybody else, their eyes are obviously different, and they're all related! Do they need it written on their foreheads?
The way he watches you, it's like he's willing to leap in front of you and take a bullet or something. Is that a bad thing?
This is the issue. Bella doesn't seem like she actually loves Edward. In the writing or the acting performance. We'll go on to the writing later, but even simple scenes like this. They are talking about how Edward would do absolutely anything for her. But her entire demeanour is so laid back like, nah, screw him. There's no love at all. There's nothing. She can't even pull off the simple act of loving her boyfriend. And it was her boyfriend in real life! No acting should have been involved! I don't know if I should blame the director for not pulling out his penis and helping her acting a bit more, or if I should blame Kristen Stewart for not caring, or if I should blame her mum for conceiving a child with a piece of cardboard!
Super.
So Bella goes to visit her mum, and they even try to have an emotional moment about how much they miss each other. Doesn't work.
Remember this one? Ensenada? The snake pit. Yep.
Oh my god, Bella actually smiled! And laughed! A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The Academy Award is coming home! And we do get a pretty epic CGI wolf vampire chase scene. This does look awesome. No, I remember you, you creepy weirdo! Get out!
Okay, we're gonna talk about this, but... You. Why haven't you called me back?
Dude, your boyfriend is right there! And you're pestering a guy who you both know wants your knickers in his mouth about him ringing you back! Oh, it's great to see they're still afraid of shirts. It's a shame that Jacob is such a rapist too, because Taylor Lautner is an amazing actor.
Better you really be dead than one of them.
Such a nice guy, I can't imagine why he's single.
Edward was right, I shouldn't have come.
What? I can't believe she didn't like me after that.
You know, Edward could at least respect mealtimes.
I was just with Jake.
Oh. Good.
No! Not good! Bad! Very, very bad! So basically, the guy who got offed at the start of the film was called Riley. Now, as a vampire, he breaks into Bella's home. Vampires can't enter somebody else's house without permission. These aren't vampires! And I keep getting comments saying, oh, it'd just be boring if they kept the same vampire law. They're allowed changes. I'm open to changes, but my point is that these movies take away all of the vampire law. They can go out in daylight, they have reflections, they barely have fangs, they can enter a home without permission, and then they replace them with gay attributes like sparkling. By that logic, oh no, you can't be mad at changes, but you know, just let them have change. Okay, so you'd be okay with ridiculous changes like this.
The good guys better watch out, because I'm a vampire. And I will suck your blood. Right? We still do that, yeah? Okay, good. I will suck your blood, but also be afraid of my secret magic power. I will dust ya.
We'll handle it from here.
We don't need you to handle anything. Or anyone.
I could care less what you need.
Couldn't care less. Why is this a mistake still being made? If you could care less, it is possible for you to care less. I can't even write sentences correctly.
Edward hated the idea, but it wasn't about rivalry anymore. It was about my safety and Charlie's.
And why does she call her own dad Charlie? Can people in these movies just refer to their parents as their parents?
Doesn't he own a shirt?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, beautiful.
Hi.
Dude! How the hell are women saying, oh, Team Jacob, Team Edward? How is there any dispute? Jacob's a complete tosser. He does anything in his power to hurt Edward and manipulate Bella. They were just making out and then she walks us over. Hello, beautiful. What the hell? He's a complete prick. Oh, well, let's learn more about the wolf pack.
We were great spirit warriors. Shapeshifters. You could transform to the powerful wolf.
Oh, so you finally admit you're not werewolves then? Can you please stop referring to yourself as werewolves then? We get this entire backstory of the wolves tribe, but it's just boring to me. Who cares? Whenever this series tries to introduce a clever legend or myth, it's just so dull and uninteresting, it's practically pointless.
An army of vampires.
And they've been created to fight so long.
We're the only clan even close to Seattle.
Regardless of why they were made, if we don't put a stop to them, the Volturi will. I'm surprised they let it go on this long.
Just like this franchise.
You'll always be my Bella.
Unless I change my mind and decide to skip town for months on end.
Gosh, it's so pretty here.
In the green screen room.
I don't feel that way for you.
I don't buy it.
What don't you buy? That's how I feel.
You feel something else for me. You just won't admit it.
Jacob, you're making me uncomfortable. Imagine how she feels.
So I'm not giving up.
Oh my god. This is the best one! This is the best one! I mean, say what you want about Edward, fine. He stared at Bella and he watched her sleep. Jacob is literally harassing this poor girl, refusing to take no for an answer. He's been rejected about a dozen times. He still won't let it go. And why? Why do either of these two love Bella? There's no what? She's hot. Fine, but she has the personality of a shoebox. We're 3 films in and we know nothing about Bella. And why doesn't Jacob just go and find someone else? Have you seen Jacob? I mean, we're talking about a 10 desperately trying to date, what, a 6 or a 7? This is like Chris Hemsworth trying desperately to date Melissa Joan Hart.
Feel that? Flesh and blood and warmth.
And rape. And then he forces a damn kiss on her! Are you kidding me? That was funny. And when Edward shows up, you really want him to kick Jacob's ass. Is that the idea? Because, again, why is anyone Team Jacob? He's literally portrayed as the antagonist.
I kissed Bella. And she broke her hand, punching my face.
Okay, that was funny. But again, what the? Jacob has literally forced himself on Bella. He is literally trying to rape Bella at this point. There's no consent. He's harassing her. She said no. He stalks her. He says he's not giving up. He forces a kiss on her, and she has to punch him. And yet young girls are like, Team Jacob. This is the message that this movie is putting out there for young girls to lap up. This is true love.
That's ridiculous.
And we're 3 films in, but honestly, I still fail to remember any character who isn't Bella, Edward, Jacob, or Charlie. Everyone else is just there. I feel like I have to do homework just to catch up before watching a new one. And this one is 45 minutes in, and it's still people telling Bella to not become a vampire. And then her wanting to do it anyway. It's 3 movies of this. And shouldn't this be the other way around anyway? Edward's like, come be one of us. And Bella's like, no, I don't want to do that. That's weird. He's a vampire.
Yeah, I know.
This blonde Cullen chick gets another backstory, but to be fair, this one is actually kind of interesting. She was attacked by a load of guys, and once turned, she sought revenge and became a killer. However, the Cullens took her in and took care of her to help her become more civilized and basically a vegetarian vampire.
What did I say about a low profile?
What did I say about overacting? I also can't help but wonder how the Cullens even get away with constantly moving. I mean, Edward must have had to graduate a billion times, so would they have to move every few years?
Look, Bella, I'm sorry. About, the kiss in your hand. I'd blame it on the whole inner animal thing, but it was really just me being an ass.
Oh, thank God. Jacob has finally seen the error of his ways. He's taken responsibility for his actions. He's owned up to his mistakes and apologized, and he's ready to change and move on to become a much better person. Why haven't I cut away yet?
Not ever.
The basic premise is Victoria, now played by Bryce Dallas Howard, is still hell-bent on revenge, wanting to kill Bella, so she and Riley are forming a vampire army to attack. This is actually a really cool idea. The wolves and vampires have to ignore their differences and form an alliance to protect Bella, and it actually is really intense, as Jacob and Edward are forced to get along for her sake. And I hate to admit it, but the training montage is also really well done. The film shockingly does have some brilliant suspense.
Some of you could get killed because of me. It's gonna be 100 times worse than this, right?
That's great, hun, but Jacob's over there. I'm Steve.
I was the youngest major in the Texas Cavalry. All without having seen any real battle.
Until
I met a certain immortal. Maria.
Oh, will you stop with the stupid backstories? Most of them are pointless and are so boring. They add nothing but curing my insomnia.
I thought what Maria and I had was love.
Yeah, no one cares, Jasper.
You're not fighting?
Oh, just put a shirt on!
I'm not a wolf. I can't imprint.
It has nothing to do with imprinting. It has to do with feeling something for somebody. And I know you feel something for me.
You said you'd stop.
I can sense how I make you feel. Physically. I make you nervous.
Why is this cited as being romantic? That's a genuine... I don't understand. Jacob has stalked this woman, asked her out, got rejected half a dozen times, or a dozen times, I can't keep track, forced a kiss on her, said he'd stop, continue hanging around and stalking her, and then brags that he makes her uncomfortable. I don't even know.
I promised I wouldn't kiss you again until you asked.
You're gonna be keeping that promise for a while, Chief.
Why did he even laugh? Bro, you are so deep in the friend zone, even the friend zone rejected your ass. You know, I genuinely thought that maybe this is going to be the good Twilight film. Early on, it had some decent scenes. I was like, maybe this is the good one, the redeemable one. And then Jacob comes along and he's like, hold my beer. What the hell?
Hey, Ted, I was wondering, why didn't you get remarried?
Kinda need a woman for that, love. We can't all fall for abusive stalkers.
There's things that you need to think about if you're going to be physically intimate.
Okay, don't have the talk.
Well, it's
me,
just
please.
as embarrassing for me as it is for you.
I doubt that. And don't bother, because Mom beat you to it like 10 years ago.
She just graduated. So she's 18. Her mum gave her the sex talk when she was 8. Ew.
Oh my God, Dad, I'm a virgin.
Okay, good. Glad we covered that.
Me too.
Virgin. Liking Edward a little bit more now.
Okay, that was funny.
Okay, marriage is the condition for you to change me yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to negotiate my own condition.
Anything you want, it's yours.
A threesome. So basically, she wants to pork, but Edward refuses because he's gay. I mean, he doesn't believe in sex before marriage. Even though he's not a virgin and hasn't been married. I mean, later on, he says that he broke the rule and his soul was tainted and he doesn't want hers to be the same. But still, it's quite hypocritical. Edward literally proposes to Bella and she accepts and still barely shows any goddamn emotion! And the villains are so boring! We're 70 minutes in, we should be at the war by now! Quit talking and start biting!
You're not wearing your ring.
Well, I didn't want to risk losing it.
I'll risk Jacob saying it.
Why are they both even fighting to be with her? I don't understand. I mean, at some point, surely you both got to be like, hey man, bro code, let's leave this hoe. What the hell is going on? Edward knows that she wants Jacob. Jacob knows that she wants Edward. And yet they're both like, oh no, that's fine. Sharon's caring. What's going on?
What?
Vampires don't sparkle! So not only does Jacob have to carry Bella everywhere to mask the scent so the other vampires can't smell her. By the way, in the original script, he was just going to push her around in a cart. So the film intentionally made it creepier.
Maybe he was wrong.
But then once Edward and Bella are presumably to safety, Jacob literally sticks around to third wheel and cock block them. And then to keep her warm, he has to share a sleeping bag with her. I mean, I know it's for her own safety, but when you combine it with everything else...
Let's face it. I am hotter than you.
And that? Jesus Christ! I know he's trying to save her life, but he's still acting like a dick about it!
You'll warm up soon. Faster if you took your clothes off.
Jake.
Survival 101.
I mean, he's right, but there's no need to be an asshole. And while Bella sleeps, Jacob literally guilt trips Edward for coming back and ruining his chances with Bella. See, this is the difference. At least Edward wants her to be happy. He even says if Bella chose Jacob, he would step aside and leave them be. Whereas Jacob only wants her to be happy if it's with him.
If we weren't natural enemies, and you weren't trying to steal my reason for existing, I might actually like you.
Aww, this is actually a really cool bonding moment where they put their differences aside and they're finally getting along. This is really cool character development.
If you weren't planning on sucking the life out of the girl I love, I might... No. Not even then.
Damn you, movie! Why are they going out of their way to make Jacob the most unlikable, creepy, rapist douchebag in the history of cinema? Ah. But uh-oh, Jacob finds out they're engaged and he's rather surprised that trying to rape a girl, sexually harass and stalk her for months didn't win her heart.
Jake, stop!
Bella, let him.
Don't!
Oh my god, an emotion.
Jake, please!
I'm done. I'm so done.
I thought you weren't going to give up.
Jacob! Kiss me.
What?
I'm asking you to kiss me.
You have got to be kidding me. So, just to reiterate, this story started as a book, made into a whole goddamn movie franchise, catered towards preteen girls. Girls who are just, you know, getting hormones, learning about relationships, learning about love. They eat this crap up. And you give them a protagonist called Bella. And she meets Edward. Okay. And he kind of stalks her. He's a bit of a dick in the first film, bit of a dick in the second film, kind of redeems him. He doesn't do anything outlandish in the next one. But in the midst of that, you got Jacob. And Jacob has done nothing but stalk and harass this poor girl. For no reason. There's no reason to like her. She is like a can of paint, other than the fact that she has a nice ass. That is literally it. And then Jacob asks her out. Bella says, nah, not happening, bro. He ignores that, continues, says, nah, I'm not giving up. This is what restraining orders were invented for. And then Edward knows about this, and Jacob knows about this. Bella's like, that's fine. Jacob hits on Bella in front of Edward. Does Bella put a stop to this? Does Bella say, hey, Jake, can you please stop doing that? It's making me and my boyfriend very uncomfortable, and I think it's a bit of a dickhead move. No. Does Edward say anything about it? No, he just mopes around doing his David Boreanaz impression. And then what happens? Jacob forces a kiss. He forces a kiss on Bella. He's practically trying to rape this woman, okay? And what happens? Edward gets mad. Charlie, for some reason, still likes Jacob. I don't know. Everyone in this movie is on drugs, and they fight. She apologizes, so apparently an apology immediately forgives sexual actions like this. And then he has to cuddle her for safety. He jokes that she should get naked, even though it's not a joke. He wanted it, but you know, whatever. And then she finally reveals that they're engaged, which for some reason she kept secret, which should have been enough reason for Edward to say, hey, you're ashamed of me, I'm leaving. no, that doesn't happen. And then when Jacob, her side piece, finds out and storms off because he's heartbroken, she, the hero who has pit two men against each other, then decides to give him that tiny glimmer of hope. Oh yeah, I've told him no, but he keeps persisting. He says he's not going to give up. And now that he has given up, I'm going to bring that hope back because I'm losing that attention. And she kisses him. She manipulates him into thinking maybe one day we can be together. While her fiancé is nearby. And do you know what the worst part about this is? Edward doesn't care.
You love her.
I love you more.
I know.
She goes back, Edward doesn't care, it's never acknowledged again. No, not once. He's just like, oh yeah, fine, whatever, you cheated on me, it's cool, you want someone else, we're just gonna share. And this is the hero who has no consequences for her actions, she only cares about herself. She kissed Jacob because, oh no, now I've lost one, I want two cocks. What is going on? This is the hero! All three of these people are awful. So it's really messed up, isn't it? When you look at Edward, who in the first film was Creepy McCreeperson, and you're thinking, hey, maybe he's not so bad anymore. Edward doesn't get mad, he doesn't get upset, the wedding isn't cancelled, he doesn't forbid her from seeing Jacob, nothing happens. I was sure, I must have missed something, so I checked Wikipedia, but it's right there in 2 sentences. Bella desperately asks him to kiss her, and she realises that she has fallen in love with him. Edward finds out about the kiss, but is not upset as Bella says she loves him more than Jacob. This is the message given to impressionable young girls. It's okay to manipulate men. Yes, that's okay. It's fine because you can have them both. You can eat your cake and suck its dick too.
You saw?
No, but Jacob's thoughts are pretty loud.
I don't know what happened.
You cheated, you hoe! And I can't even enjoy the huge battle scene after all of that crap. And why are the vampires suddenly made out of stone? Where was this in the last 2 films? Stop ripping off Lost Boys 2, it's stupid.
She's not alone.
Oh, look, Bella, it's an evil dickhead. Now just try and keep your clothes on, okay?
Don't let him do this to us. You know I love you.
Oh, does she cheat on him? It's what lovers do, apparently. I will admit, though, as Edward approaches Victoria, Pattinson's acting is brilliant, and he is so badass. But wow, during the fight, Bella actually does something to help for a change. But it looks ridiculous when the necks get snapped off like mannequins. And are we seriously supposed to feel bad that the creepy rapist is injured?
It appears we missed an entertaining fight.
Yes. It's not often we're rendered unnecessary.
This whole franchise is unnecessary.
Was he hard on you?
He wasn't even mad at me.
Because he's an idiot.
He's not as perfect as you think.
And you are?
It wasn't easy making you admit your feelings for me.
My God, he's on his deathbed and he's still a creep. Just die! And hey, it wouldn't be a terrible love story without the 2 morons sitting in a field. No, this never works. Why is he still with her? And then in hilarious fashion, Bella actually tries to give an emotional speech with the emotion of a whoopee cushion.
I've made a mess trying to figure all this out, but I want to do it right. And I want to tie myself to you in every way humanly possible.
Unless Jacob threatens to leave, then I gotta pounce on him. And despite Edward believing in the old-fashioned ways, it makes no sense that they get engaged before asking her father permission. This one? The best one? No! Just no!
Think about it.
There's No words. Sure, the action scenes are cool and it has decent cinematography, but look at the goddamn script and tell me what you see. Abusive relationship after abusive relationship. I am just in awe that this franchise not only took off, but actually had teen girls arguing over who was better between Jacob and Edward. They're both awful, but one doesn't try to rape, so I guess he's not as bad. The small gems they do have of decent character development and the cool ideas, backstories and fight scenes they have are just completely destroyed by having the worst people imaginable being their main protagonists. There's no words. 3 films, and thus far they have all been insulting to the mind, the body, the environment, the human race. They have to avoid the mere mention of this movie at AA meetings just to avoid the clients reverting back to drinking. It is that infuriating. And the fact that they try so hard to pass it off as charming and whimsical, giving this message to young girls to lead them to believe that this is what love really is that more insulting. It's a complete insult. After each time I watch one of these, I'm like, oh yeah, I won't do the next one. And then the next year comes and I've calmed down, and then I watch the next one. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is why I don't.